Hi and hello. My name is Siti Nur Ismah binti Jamaluddin Amini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Nur Shuda binti Muhammad Sukiman.
My name is Salwa Ilin binti Anwar.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurani Sanani binti Hassan.
So, the issue in this case study to be solved, that is whether Shukri Enterprise has the right to decide to draw away the stale mangoes without conveying the fact to Aina. Or next one's issue about whether Aina can decide to refuse Shukri's commission after Aina find out what Shukri did to the stale fruit without telling her first. Next, about formulation. This case are related to creation of agency. There are 5 ways to creation that can be creation of agency. Refer of Contract Act 1950. The first one is by necessity. In this case, related with creation of agency by necessity. The proof is Shukri wanted to rely on agency by necessity by deciding to dispose or demake mango without convey the fact to Aina. An agent has authority in an emergency to do all such act for the purpose of protecting his principal from loss, as would be done by a person of ordinary prudence. And then there also must be already some existing contractual relationship between the principal and the person who act on this behalf. Okay, next, creation agency by express. An agent may be authorized by mouth or word to sign in a memorandum. Express terms are the terms that have been specifically mentioned and agreed by both parties. A power of attorney in constructed strictly, and if agent in purport exercise in his authority. Okay. The third agency by implied appointment. Implied authority is by way of the implied consents of the principal and the agent. In section 140, an illustration, Contract Act 1950 occur in 3 situations. The first is implied from the relationship of husband and wife. Second, implied from the circumstance of the case, and the next by the Partnership Act 1961. Implied appointment arise when a person by his word hold out another person. Next, creation of agency by ratification is under section 149 of the Contract Act of 1915. So, right of person is to act done for his authority effect of ratification that's allow him or her to choose whether to ratify or repudiate deeds performed on his behalf but without his. That's about agency by ratification. And the last one, agency by estoppel. Ordinary creation of agency by estoppel is person is not bound by a contract made in his behalf without his authority. allow a third party belief is X is his agent. That's for example. And then principal does not inform or announce to the third party that his agent has no authority or the agent authority had been terminated. Okay, that's all from me. 5 creation of agency that can be created. Thank you.
Thank you, Isma, for briefing about the issue and formulation for this case study 1 for Shukri Enterprise and Aina. Agency by necessity is a type of legal relationship in which one party can make essential decisions for another party, and the courts recognize agency by necessity during an emergency or urgent situation under which the beneficiary is unable to provide explicit authorization. Agency by necessity, according to section 142, 142 of Contract Act, a person may become an agent although he is not appointed. When this situation happens, that person is known as agent by necessity. Therefore, by necessity can be created by 3 conditions. So for this case study 1 is under section 167 and also section 142 about Contract Act. And the 3 conditions about these principal instructions. The first one is impossible to get the principal instructions. The second is agent action is necessary to prevent loss to the principal. And the last one is the agent has acted in good faith. And this case study 1 also relate about to duty of obedience. So what is duty of obedience? Agents are required to follow the principal's legitimate and reasonable instructions. An agent is a professional and the principal depends on the agent to apply his professional competence and discretion. And the last one is the agent does not generally have any discretion and must obey the principal's orders. That's all for the legal principle. Thank you.
So next we will continue with the supporting case law. Number 1 is must be a situation that is impossible for the agent. In the case of Springer Victory is the railway company as defendant agreed to carry plaintiffs the matter for channels as meant to London. Number 2 is the ship arrived at Weymouth. Defendant employees were asked the matter were unloaded by casual labels. Number 3 is the court was held. Plaintiff was intended to diminish because defendant are to have communicated. So next we continue about agent action by necessary. The first is the agent action is to prevent loss to the principal with respect to good. Number 3, in the case the court was had the plaintiff railway company had delivered a horse. Number 3 is there was agency of necessity because the plaintiff was found to have had no choice under situation. Number 4 is there is no agency and then good also just because they are inconvenience to the agent, then agency of necessity does not arise. So the last one is the case follow instruction. The first is the cargo of tomatoes arrived at Weymouth station. The defendant railway company was contracted by the claimants. The decision is it would have been possible for the railway company to seek the instruction of the owner's tomato by sending a telegram.
Okay, so next, I will explain about application. In the case, Shukri Enterprise failed to inform Aina that some mangoes were stale and not suitable for eating. This will cause Shukri Enterprise to be eligible for action from Aina, because referring to at section 164, Shukri Enterprise did not comply with the instruction from supervisor. Section 164 is to obey all of principal's lawful instruction. So, failure to do so will result in breach of contract, and the agent will be liable for any loss suffered by the principal. So, this caused Shukri Enterprise to be eligible for a pay cut, because they only refer to decision from her party without the consent of Aina. Section 170 and section 171 CA 1950 is to pay principal all sum received, but may return his commission or expense incurred of advance made in carrying on his duty. Referring to this case, Shukri Enterprise does not have the right to make a decision at will, because no matter what the situation, Shukri Enterprise must first inform Aina in any way, so that legal action will not be imposed. Okay, so that's all from me. Application.
In the conclusion, this report states that Aina reserves the right to reject the orders of mangoes from the Shukri Enterprise and is not obligated to pay it or deduct the commission of the Shukri Enterprise, because failed to inform Aina that some mangoes were stale and not suitable for consumption. Thank you, and that's all from us.